Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, on the agenda tonight, we are going to be taking a look at Judas Priest, Mr. Rob Halford himself, and we're going to be taking a look at 3 performances from this year. It's going to be from July at the O2 and then Scarborough and Oberhausen, yeah, all from 2025. So what we're going to do is, first of all, just have a listen to these performances by themselves without the pitch monitoring software. As always, the links to these videos can be found in the description below in case you guys want to cross-reference anything. But let's just jump in and have a listen. Of course, we're listening to the isolated vocal here, as you'd be able to tell. And I'm just going to move it forward a bit. We'll have a listen here. And I think in one of these videos, somebody sings along at some point and the isolation software has picked that up. Maybe they're holding the camera because this is crowd shot footage. And again, as I always say, all of the ambient noise that goes with crowd shot footage means that everything is less likely to match up. So when things do match up, there's only one explanation for that, and that's that it is the same audio file. But we haven't got to that point yet. I'm just going to let this play. We are still in sync. I'm just going to move this forward to, what, almost 4 minutes? And it sounds like we're a little bit out of sync now. I mean, yeah, ever so slightly out of sync, I'd say, between these 3 performances. But that is, what, yeah, 4.5 minutes into the performance. So, I mean, what we can say, what I'm inclined to think is that they are playing to a click. If 2 of the performances are still really close after 4.5 minutes, then yeah, there's going to be a click involved in order to keep time. But critically, we need to get the pitch monitoring software up on screen so that we can see what's going on. And we'll just have a listen to this. And obviously the signal is going to drop in and out, but we do get a bit of a signal coming through. And critically, here in Scarborough, the B4, absolutely bang on, and then we descend. Here, we don't ever get up to the B4, and we're between notes here, and we actually go flat at the A sharp 4, whereas here, we come down and just settle on that A sharp 4. And, I mean, I'm trying to see, I think here we are just sharp of the A sharp 4. So again, here on the A sharp 4, here flat of the A sharp 4, here sharp of the A sharp 4, which means that that note has been hit in a different place on all 3 of these performances. So, I mean, when there is a truly live vocal, it is so obvious when you're looking at the lines on screen, and you know it works the other way as well. When it's the same audio file being played back, it's so obvious because you can look at one graph and you can see the next graph looks like it's the first one, and then the third one will look like the other 2. But here, as we work our way through, I mean, this is great because this kind of note that Rob hits, I mean, even though it's a split second, that vocal is undoubtedly up front. That is the predominant vocal in the mix. It's the lead vocal. And that lead vocal here, between C sharp 5, D5. Here, C sharp 5, and just, yeah, take in these notes for a second. C sharp 5. But anyway, this is Rob Halford that we're talking about. Having this ascending note that, you know, again contradicts this one here, because here C#5 we ascend, here we were already between the C#5 and the D5, and then here absolutely on the D5. So again, we've got 3 points here that are the predominant lead vocal that are absolutely different pitches being hit on different nights. And I'll go back to a point that I've made in other videos where people say, oh, great singers can repeat the same thing, over and over again when they've been performing the song for a long time. When you're talking about Rob Halford, he knows how to sing these songs, and if anyone's going to be singing over his lines, it would be him, but it also wouldn't be him because it's impossible to do. So, yeah, all of these things that we're looking at, A#4, it doesn't really matter where we look on the graphs, you're going to get different readouts because they are fully live vocals in each of these. So here, A#4 here, the A#4 line is here, and you can see how at no point are we anywhere near that. And even here, we're not anywhere near being over that A#4. It was just at Oberhausen in 2025 that he happened to be in that place. So, I mean, I can run this forward, and I mean, we can listen. I wanted to try and make out this guy singing along. I think we heard him just right at the end of that last section. And the other thing that you'll notice when you do work your way through this, and I'm not going to go through it bit by bit by bit, I already have done, nothing matches up because these are fully live vocals. But when you do get to a point where you might get a hint of a repeat of something like this, you think, well, it looks a little bit similar, but when you look at it in detail, if you were to think of trying to get this to cover over this, straight away we've got this little peak sharp of the D5, and where does that happen? It doesn't happen anywhere. In fact, this whole section here is at the C#5. So if I were to grab the Scarborough graph and move it up so that it's now in line, these lines are now matching up. So the D5 is this line here that continues across, and guess what? This part didn't happen at the same pitch. So it's fundamentally a contradiction that it's not going to match up anyway, because you can see we then come down here and then we have wider ones. We don't have this little notch at the beginning, and then here we straighten out and go flat, and here we don't straighten out and we go sharp. So you're always going to get these contradictions, even when you're looking at amazing singers, because the ear cannot take in this amount of detail. This is why we use pitch graphs, because they are so conclusive. They will show you exactly what happened, and exactly what happened if the same audio file is being played back, because then you'd be able to drag it over the top of the other graph. So I've just moved it forward a little bit to show a section where it's a held note, and it's the only bit that I can find that might look similar, but as you'll see, it is night and day when you're looking at live vocals. I mean, it does show that Rob has still got this range, which is crazy, G#5. And by the way, the male tenor high C, C5, is down here. So the G#5, for guitarists out there, we are looking at the 16th fret of your high E string. So that's where this note lives, just in case you want to play that note and then try and hit it with your voice. But anyway, here, perfectly on this G#5, we maintain pitch, throughout pretty much. G#5 here, we obviously go a little bit flat, and then we go up, and then we have this little bit of vibrato come up, and then vibrato again. G#5, we're actually between the G5 and the G#5 here at the O2 in July, and that's just maintained a little bit flat and then comes down at the end. So again, even though these are a held note, they still are hugely different when you're looking at them in this kind of detail. But Rob is still hitting this live, the G#5, and still being this consistent with it, because this is a really consistent vocal, and somebody who obviously has been doing this for years, but you're only ever going to get it going over the top of itself when it is the same audio file. But yeah, we're never, everything that you see on one will be unique. It won't replicate on other sides of the pitch graph. And yeah, I won't go through the whole thing. If you want to go through the whole thing and get these graphs on a screen and compare all of them just to see that they are all going to be totally different, then you absolutely can do. If that's something that you want to check and cross-reference, that's why the links to the original videos are always in the description below. So, I mean, ultimately, for every analysis video that I make, I'm just going to point out exactly what's going on. And I get requests for all kinds of bands and artists, and there are bands out there doing it fully live. So when somebody requests that I look at a band or a singer that is doing it fully live, then by the end of the analysis video, we'll just find out exactly what's happening. And in this case, Rob is just singing live, and he has been singing live throughout 2025. So the other thing is that I look at all of the requests, and I'm not picking and choosing only the bands and artists that are lip syncing or miming. I'm taking in every request. So it is going to be a mixed bag as to what we find out, but that's the whole point. And say, for example, you're thinking about buying tickets to see Judas Priest, then you know what to expect. You know that you can expect a live vocal because that's what's been happening throughout 2025. And some people want to know that kind of thing because it can affect their decision on who they're going to watch live. So yeah, there are different elements to it, but all my videos are going to do is just point out exactly what's going on, as this video has done as well. So thank you guys for requesting this particular analysis video for tonight. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Keep those requests coming to requests@wingsofpegasus.com, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!